Hello, everybody. Happy, blessed 2023. I am coming in here to share a video with you on the most important lesson for 2023, the most important lesson for this year. I feel like the year just started. This past weekend was the Lunar New Year, which really is the offset. It's like the first new moon of the year, which really sparks the energy for the whole year. So if you started the year not so well, I just want to reinforce the fact that every single moment is an opportunity to begin again. And really, this past weekend, if you look at it from an energetic standpoint, is the beginning. That was the beginning of the year. So happy new year, my beautiful friend. Oh, so good that you're here, goddess. So I'm going to be sharing with you today what I consider to be the most important lesson for this year. And if there's time, we'll also go into a guided chakra meditation to really elicit this incredible energy inside of you to ensure that this is your year, okay? That this is your year. I know that every year has its sweet and its sour, its dark and its light, its challenges and its ease. However, it's really important to recognize that we all have a choice to, instead of being influenced from the outside in, meaning that the ways of the world dictate you, your energy, and what you choose to experience in this life, versus let that energy come from inside and really create the year that you're here to create. Okay, let me give you an example. So what prompted this is I was just on a call with a writing partner of mine, and she was like glowing and she was so happy. And she said, "I have to thank you." And I'm like, "Why?" She said, "Because the last time we met, I had shared a story with her. Actually, here on YouTube, I shared the story. She had lost her job, which was really humbling. It was the first time she had ever been let go of a job. And she was just down and out. She didn't know where her money was going to come from. Financially, she was struggling. Creatively, she was struggling. She just wasn't feeling well emotionally. It was a blow to her ego to lose her job, and she lives in a very small town, so she had no idea where she was going to get a job and support herself. And I had shared with her a video story about, if you guys saw the video, I last year went through all of my tax documents, financial documents from 12 years ago, 13, 14 years ago, when I was first starting my business online. And what I realized was, in that video, you see me actually realizing that although the money wasn't coming in for many years at the start of my business from the way I wanted it to, like a high-end client or my programs being completely full or whatever the case may be, money was always coming in. I was supported every single step of the way. So you can watch that video to see the whole process. And I actually do burn everything in a fire, letting go of the past with gratitude. But what she said was, something in her sparked open, and she realized that abundance could come in from anywhere. That instead of just looking at it like it had to come from this one job and just open up, it sort of relaxed her. Her exact words were, she went from, you know, this knowing that abundance is coming from everywhere, rather than this torture she was putting on herself, on a daily basis, out of fear, worry, doubt. What, like writing, have you ever done this? You take something that's going on in your life and you run it through your mind in this worry filter over and oh, what if this happens? And then what if that happens? Oh my God, but if it doesn't happen that way, then this isn't going to happen. Da, 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 da. All that does is block the energy. I'm going to get to the most important lesson for the year in a moment, but I'm just setting the stage right now. All that does energetically is block the magnificent flow of energy, abundance, love, light that is asking to pour through your life. And if you take the outside world's opinion as what's going to happen this year, what's going to happen in your life, how you should feel, you're going to feel like Shabib. I promise. But if you open up to the universal truth and the energetic frequency that is always available, that runs through nature, that courses through our veins, that beats our hearts, you're going to have a phenomenal year. So if you're open to a phenomenal year where you're truly living a fulfilling life and you feel good in your own body, in your own skin, and you're experiencing love and joy and peace, even in difficult moments, to be able to experience peace, just write in the chat, yes. I choose this, yes. So, oh, that's very sweet to hear. I'm going to connect with some of you after. If you have any questions, write them in the chat because I want to engage with you and connect with you today. So her story really blew me away. I had forgotten that I had even shared that with her. And she said, this is the crazy thing. Since I shared that video with her and that story, she has had so much abundance pouring into her life in ways that she never could have predicted. So she went to yoga, and the woman next to her basically offered her a job as a paid writer. Okay, this is her dream. The woman said, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" next to her in her yoga studio. And she was down and out, had lost her job, and out of nowhere, and she's writing an incredible memoir, an incredible novel. She literally comes out of her mouth, "What do you do for a living?" And she says, "I'm a writer." And it just came out. She was like, "Oh my God, I just said I'm a writer." And the woman's like, "You're a writer? We're hiring a writer right now in our company. Like, will you apply?" So this is how the universe works. What the only thing that changed for her is she got out of the way. She opened up to the universal principle of abundance that's flowing through all of life, and it's asking to come into your life right now. So one other thing is she literally got a cash buyer for her daughter, for her condo that she had. She also got this money coming in from a very random place, like a check for $11,000 just bloop came to her. All of this money is coming in from all these different places, large sums, medium, and small sums, because she got out of the way. And now this video is not about money. This isn't about just like money. Who cares, right? Yes, we need to feed ourselves. But what I'm getting at here is whether it's money, love, health, purpose, spiritual abundance, like spiritual fulfillment, freedom, liberation, it's always asking to happen into it. We are wired to flourish. We are literally designed to go beyond anything that's ever come before. Look at nature. Don't take my word for it. Watch nature. Watch what happens there. It's always, always, always expanding and flourishing. There's no limit to the abundance. So things that aren't even on your radar right now are asking to come through. But if you're really worried, in fear, in doubt, and that's what I want to help you with in this video, it is just naturally going to block or armor or push away what is asking to come in, right? So when I was sitting in meditation, I was just up in the redwoods for a couple weeks, and I unplugged for one of those weeks. It was incredible. There was like this crazy wild storm that was coming in, and the power went out. And I was sitting with the lesson for this year. I was sitting with the power of the 2 years that we have been through. Like, think about what you have been through over these couple of years, okay? I want you to think of it as a bow and arrow. So we were slung back. There was this tension pulling us back, 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 back. A lot of challenging things happening. And 2023 is a slingshot forward. It can be, if you choose it, a quantum leap, because we have been refining ourselves in order to fling forward. The only thing that could hold us back from really flourishing in our lives is our minds. Okay, and I'm going to get to in a moment. I just held a workshop in the membership, and I'm going to actually share with you the necessary boundary setting to set for your best year. And the first one is the mind, and we're going to get to that in a minute. And by the way, if you want to join me and this incredible sisterhood in our soul-centered life and business membership, the opportunity to come in, the rate is going up. The tuition is doubling on the 31st of this month. So now is like an amazing time to come in and have live workshops with me 3, sometimes 4 times a month, the entire spiritual the entire Confident Spiritual Business School. So you learn how to get visible, grow your audience, and enroll clients and students in a very natural way into your programs. So you can click the link below if you want that. But my point here is that we need to be really clear about our energy this year, okay? And the biggest lesson for 2023, the most important lesson for 2023 is, if you want to summarize it into a word, the word balance, okay? We are constantly juggling opposites. And what gets in the way for a lot of people is we have positive and we have negative. And when the negative comes up in our lives, whether somebody says something critical, or we feel horrible emotionally, or we lose a job or a loved one, or whatever the case may be, that negativity can send someone into a retraction that actually limits the possibilities, when that negativity is not there to take us down. It's actually there to refine us into the most brilliant, radiant, incredibly abundant versions of ourselves that we are here to be. And so the path that I want to open up here today, which I've been walking myself for the last couple of years, is something called the middle way. The middle way. What this means is, no matter what comes my way, whether it is a job loss or it is a job opportunity, I know deep in my bones that both things, whatever comes my way, is actually coming in to help me expand and help me grow. So if you think about it, like, if you have parts of yourself that you don't like, okay, so for example, the go-getter in me who runs a business was leading the way so powerfully in my life that, yes, my business was like flourishing at a level financially that was incredible in especially 2018, 2019. And then as soon as because I was only letting that part lead me, and I was grinding myself and working so hard, the go-getter led to me getting a health diagnosis. Now, there was this other part of me called the tree hugger. Okay, I'm just giving an example. The tree hugger is the one who doesn't work. She just like lays and reclines, and she's in nature and she's super peaceful. Do you have these two parts of you? The one who wants to, like, who's really driven, and then this part of you who's really relaxed. So because I wasn't in balance with those two parts of myself, I ended up getting a health diagnosis and chose to move through a deeply healing journey to reclaim the tree hugger and to find a way to walk the middle way. So I run my business from a place of overflow, so that I run my business from a place of health and wellness and vitality rather than incessant ambition and doing. Now, for you, it might be completely different. You might be very confident, like very comfortable with a confident version of yourself, but the insecure version of yourself you beat down and you try to hide. Or maybe there's a version of you who is, really sad a lot of the time. And you try to hide that side of you and put on like a smiley, happy face. Or maybe there's this really nice, everyone thinks you're so nice. But then there's like this rage that you hide. We are multifaceted. And if you really want to make this year the most abundant year for yourself, go outside and study nature. Watch nature. Nature is in perfect balance with the negative and the positive, what we call negative, with a raging storm and the earthquakes and all the wild weather and the sunshine and the perfect breeze and the 70-degree weather. Like, nature it generates all of it, and it's not ashamed of any part of itself. It's just like, this is who I am. And if you look at little kids, little children, babies especially, they will throw tantrums, they will beam with joy. They are the whole gamut. Is there something you have been hiding about yourself, judging, berating yourself for, going off balance because you're so desperate to get rid of that part of you so that you can get something or someone to like you, approve of you, love you? Have you been leaving yourself to love others? I want you to really think about these energetics, because think of that universal principle of abundance pouring through you. It's always beating your heart, growing your hair. But if we're blocked, if we're armoring, if we are pushing, if we are pushing any part of ourselves away or hiding, it's literally like wearing plastic and it's raining outside and the rain is just trying to like bless us, right? And have us feel like so fresh and good and alive and dancing in the rain, but we can't even receive it because there's just plastic. Like that thought is horrible, but plastic all over us. So, what is your energetic block? When I say to walk the middle way, what part of you is asking to be embraced, to be allowed, to be worn like a badge of honor rather than hidden? Okay. And the middle way is considered like a Buddhist teaching, a Taoist teaching, but really I see it as more of whatever comes, let it come. Think of my friend, my writing partner, who a job loss came and she was fighting it and her energy was really dropping. But as soon as I said to her what I shared with her, all that happened was it opened her mind to the possibility that she will always be taken care of. Her exact words were, have faith, don't worry, lean into life because you're always taken care of. You can't get around that. If you look back on your life, you're going to see that everything you have always had your needs met. You've always been safe. You've always been okay. Like it's very rare, unless something is genuinely or someone is attacking you. That is the only reason to fear anything. Let's take a deep, deep breath in and exhale it out. And take a big, beautiful, deep breath in and exhale it out. And I want you to just imagine for a moment that the lesson for this year is really to set ourselves free in the most beautiful way. And I keep saying to people, 2023 is the year of setting ourselves free. It is literally the year of setting ourselves free. So how in the world do we do that? How do we set ourselves free when there's so much chaos in the world, when there's so much going on outside, when people we love may be sick or not doing well or suffering? How do you actually free yourself this year? And it really comes down to this: life is generating what it generates. And the most important lesson for this year is to master the ability to let life move as it moves, like storms, sunshine, whatever's coming into your life, let it move. Because in essence, you're always expanding and growing, so long as we're not really stuck in our heads about the future, like 20 steps ahead, or what happened in the past and I don't want that to happen again. So really the lesson this year is to awaken into presence at the most profound level possible. Every morning I put on my necklace and I say to myself, my intention is to embody the deepest level of presence available to me today. That's my intention every day. Why? Because when I embody presence, meaning whoever comes my way, whatever comes my way, I am breathing. I'm looking them in the eye. I'm looking at life. I'm listening. I have my feet on the ground. I'm in my body. Because if I can embody presence through my life, I am home. And if I am home in the present moment and I'm not stuck in an energetic block in my mind, then the universal principle of abundance is always moving through me. And it's always guiding my life. And I'm mastering my ability to hold opposites. And that's a really important level of mastery to have if we are to flourish in the life that we are living as a humanity right now on our planet in 2023. So, how do we actually embody the deepest level of presence when something negative is happening, when you're worried about someone or something? And what I'm going to do here is let's dive into a meditation together. But really, I want to ask you the question: How often are you meditating? How often are you walking in the quiet woods or on a beach? How often are you not on this? This isn't sexy or interesting in comparison to all the chatter that you're going to find and all the bright noise that you're going to find here. But have you noticed that all the bright noise that you're going to find in scrolling and all these things is really painful for the body? And does it actually satisfy you? Life is not going to invite you to breathe. It's not going to invite you to make space to hear that deep wisdom inside of you that's guiding you. Life is not going to generate, like, our mainstream media is not going to take care of you. It's just not. So then it really becomes like, wow, what if this year I put my well-being so high up, and I put presence and meditation and breathing and self-care at such a profound level of commitment and devotion that all of the noise that used to, like, spin me out falls away, and it's actually not even relevant. And now you've created a new world and a vortex where what's going on outside of you is no longer relevant because now you're creating the reality of your life. Oh, Harley, so beautiful. Um, so so let's take a breath, because I know, like Harley, for example, so many of you are powerhouses in the world. You are amazing coaches, you are leaders, or you're an aspiring leader. You know, you have this desire to do something incredible for other people. But I promise you, the most important lesson this year is to embody the deepest level of presence available to you. The biggest lie in the world, and this is something I had to let go of at the very end of last year. I went outside, I picked up two acorns, two halves, like broken, like acorns, and I let go of two things. I let go of resentment because I had been harboring some resentment on a few people, and I let go of delusion. The delusion of believing that the future, I will be happier in the future, is a delusion. Happiness is now. Wealth is now. Everything you want is now. But everything in our society is going to tell you to look at the next thing, is going to tell you to believe that tomorrow you're going to be happier when you make this amount of money, when you do this thing, whatever the bullshit BS, pardon my language, is, the belief systems are, it's all going to keep propelling us in that direction. I promise you that. And so, if we really want to have the most incredible years, I ask you to bask in the glory of your wealth now. Even if you have $0 in your bank account, did you eat today? And did you eat that meal with gratitude and tasting the flavors and just breathing as you're eating? Or are you rushing to the next thing because the next thing is going to make you money? So, because the next thing is going to bring in your partner, or the next thing is going to make you happy in the future. One of the most important lessons of this year is to just see that trick. See the trick of how the ego's trying to pull us forward into a delusion that the future we're going to be so much happier. If we don't find a way to be happy now, I promise you that more money, a better partnership is not going to do the trick. And the ego will also try to pull us into the past, right? And go, oh my God, I wish that. Why did I do that? All it's doing is pulling us out of the only place we have any power, and that's right here and right now. So when I say the middle way, I just want you to imagine that you're walking, your feet are on the ground, you're present, you're here, whether it's raining, whether it's storming, whether you are in a meeting someone who's in humility or someone who's in vanity, whatever we're in a state of duality here. So whatever is coming your way, what if this year, and we'll just do a very simple breathing technique. You put one hand on your belly, on your third chakra, okay? On your third chakra, and put the other hand on your, like this, put them right over your solar plexus or your third chakra, okay? And so we're pointing down, we're rooting into the earth. And take a deep breath. So this is like right over your navel, okay? And just notice how that feels on your body. So all we're doing is touching in with the body. Your body's always present, which means we're now subtly coming back to the present moment rather than in our minds. We're connecting with our solar plexus. Third chakra is your personal power. So take a deep breath into your solar plexus. This is your confidence. This is your self-esteem. This is your relationship with yourself, which is the most important relationship. It dictates every other relationship. So another deep breath in and exhale it out. Good. 3 more just like that. Inhale deep into the solar plexus, into the belly. On your exhale, spreading your toes, softening your hips, really feeling your feet firmly on whatever they're touching. Feel yourself held here. Another deep breath in and exhale it out. Good. And now, as you're breathing here, I want you to imagine that there's a root growing from your solar plexus, and now it's going into your second chakra, just below the navel, a couple inches below the navel. So this is your creative center. This is what births worlds. This is babies get birthed here. If you have a female body, this is the womb space. And this is a very powerful place for abundance, for creativity, for sensuality, for sexuality. And this is a place that many of us have extraordinarily closed and blocked. So I just want you to feel into this chakra, just letting yourself feel the root from your solar plexus moving down to your second chakra and now down to the first. Your first chakra is the base of the spine, so just breathing in and exhaling it out. Now we're starting to land. Okay, so just landing in the base of your root chakra, which is really your connection with our beautiful Earth Mother, which is your survival here on Earth, which is your relationship with the tribe, with groups of people, your relationship with your body, which is here now, present moment. And I want you to feel those roots now growing all the way from your tailbone down to the center of the earth. And feel the connection between you and our beautiful planet that is constantly feeding you, it clothes you, it provides every single thing down to the last drop of water you drink. And how often are we connecting with the earth? How often are we connecting with our bodies? Take a deep breath in. Just notice any feelings, any sensations, and rather than pushing them away, just letting them expand, letting yourself feel whatever is present in your body. Good. Exhaling out. Now taking one hand, placing it on your heart chakra and one on the solar plexus. Taking a deep breath in. So now that you're grounded, feeling that energy rising up to the heart. And if you're open to it, whenever you're watching this, whether in real time with me now, or maybe it's years from now, it doesn't matter. You have an opportunity to reset for this year right now. And what is your intention from your heart? Not from logic or what others want of you or some image or persona. What is your heart's deepest need and desire this year? So taking a deep breath in and exhaling it out, I'll ask again, what does your heart want this year for you and your life? Exhaling it out. And if you're like, I don't even know anymore what I want, then this is your question, this is your opportunity, is to sit in your physical body, breathe, connect, and notice, get to know yourself. Listen, and you'll be amazed, especially if you do this out in nature, put your feet in the grass, what opens up. And I want you to notice the difference between how when you're living up here in the mind, thinking about next, 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 and when you land in your body and you're present in your breath and in the moment, and you're here now. think it's Kyle Cease, he'll say like moving from now to from next to now. And I just love that because it's so simple. And that's a really simple way of saying the lesson for this year is we're really migrating as a beautiful family, as a community from next to now. We're migrating from all of this future fantasy, the delusion of feeling better tomorrow, to can I befriend myself and embrace myself now? Whatever complexity or simplicity, whatever's going on in you, that's the middle way. If you have a horrible day, if you have a good day, can you be present with yourself and trust that life is just generating what it generates? And it's not, there's a deeper you behind it all who is simply breathing, present, here. And as Anandamayi Ma said, the Indian saint who's so beautiful, she said, be as it may. That was her mantra. Be as it may. Whatever comes, comes. Whatever goes, goes. Be as it may. Whatever life generates, be as it may. Look at my writing partner. Job loss, whole new doorway of opportunity. Now she is a paid writer. Now she has all this abundance of income from places that she didn't even expect. But if we get stuck on what our minds are telling us, it's really going to limit what's possible this year. So, deep breath. Just to recap here, just like really let me know what has stood out for you, what pops for you, what is going to support you in this lesson of walking the middle way this year, of embodying balance. I know some people say balance is a myth. I think Danielle Laporte says that. I totally disagree. Balance is not a myth. It is available to us. It is a myth in the mainstream society, the way people are doing life. It is absolutely a myth in most humans' lives, but it doesn't have to be a myth in yours. Like you can embody balance in our beautiful, messy human world and during these times. And I just want to say to you that the last thing that's really important, and I didn't think I was going to share this, these were just with me because I had just taught a workshop, is that saying no this year is going to be really important. Okay. So, boundary setting for your best life, there are 5 areas to create boundaries. Slowing down my rhythm and reconnecting to my body is everything. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Harley. Yes. Yeah. So the boundaries to set with ourselves this year are the boundaries with the mind. If worry comes up, if doubt, if any of that friction comes up, it's like any of that noise that we're buying into, it's catching it and just noticing the ego's just trying to pull us into fear, worry, doubt, future, past. And like Harley is saying, like to slow it down and just breathe and be aware of the mind. I have so many other videos on that, but really important that you're using your mind to push your North Star forward, your vision forward. If you don't have a vision for this year, for this quarter, I highly suggest jumping into the membership or do whatever you need to do to gain that clarity so that your life is driving in the direction of your heart's purpose. Otherwise, I promise you that other people's agendas, and that's the second boundary that's really important to set, other people's agendas are going to hijack your life. They're going to steal your energy. They're going to command your schedule unless you put boundaries and you communicate with people. These are my office hours. This is what I need. This is what I don't want. This is what I want. Can you agree to that? If they can't, then there may be some people you need to put very, very clear, healthy boundaries with, okay? The third is time. And it's having boundaries with your time. Are you giving all your time away or letting like whatever happens, whatever people expect of you to sort of like consume and chomp on your time? Or do you have a very clean schedule? Do you have office hours that you adhere to, that you have blocked out white space in your calendar? Do you have flex week? Do you have unplugged time scheduled in? So pivotal in order to really embody balance and embody this middle way and just feel joy, like to really feel joy and the receptivity of yeah, this amazing life. The fourth boundary to set for your best year is boundaries with your environment. Having a boundary with your environment. So is your environment like cluttered and just exhausting just to look at? Do you feel miserable every time you walk into your home or your car, or when you look in your handbag even? Really powerful time to declutter. And the fifth boundary, and also to add in beautiful things that you just love. Like I'm in a hotel right now because I'm traveling, and sorry. I buy flowers and they smell incredible. And I have candles going, which I've burned down to the very bottom, and Palo Santo, and I make my environment beautiful because I work from wherever I travel. Environment is essential to make sure your energy is high. And then habits, boundaries with your habits. If you could just clarify even one habit that's taking you down and put boundaries around that habit, whether it's eating sugar or going to bed late or scrolling, just letting time be consumed by consuming people's content that's exhausting you rather than creating content that empowers you and helps you serve others and find your voice and just find who you are and free yourself. So, those are the five boundaries to set this year. And again, this is your year if you choose. And I just love you all. I thank you so much. I was just being interviewed today, and I was saying to her, she was asking how my business started, and it started right here on YouTube. And I want to thank you so much for that, because YouTube carved out a path for me. I didn't know what I was doing. I just started sharing my voice. I started expressing myself, sharing my voice, because I had gold inside that I couldn't let just hold inside. I had to share it. And I kept sharing it, sharing it, sharing it, sharing it. And then that led to a book, realizing I kept talking about the same things. Then I created an online course actually first, and that's when I started getting paid. And then I created a book out of that online course, and then I created a coach training program which certifies spiritual and transformational coaches globally. I never could have planned that. If I was in my head looking ahead, first of all, I never would have dreamt even a quarter of what my life is today, but it would have kept me in such paralysis that I never would have done anything to begin with. And I would have resented everyone around me for consuming my time and energy, which is how I was living prior to that. So, my point here is that do the thing that you're here to do, and do let the perfectionist take a vacation. And I promise you that it will lead you on a path that leads to such extraordinary and exquisite beauty. It's why we created a membership. It's why I do the membership, is because people come in there, they test their voice, they have a safe place where they can express themselves, and they have the whole program, Confident Spiritual Business School, guiding them step by step. And then they have like 3 or 4 live Q&A workshops with me every month. I want for you, whether it's to free your voice or to, I don't know, start a family or create a garden or whatever it is, I want you to be in a frequency where you know that's possible for you. It's not only possible, it's essential. It's essential for you to live in your joy and your magic. So here is to 2023 being the year of setting your magic free. And if you do want to join the membership, you can click the link below, which basically until the 31st, so a few more days, you can come into the membership for half of the tuition. It's going up 50% on the 31st. Oh, I need to stop my wrong habits. Yeah, so I just encourage you to consider that it's like, instead of stopping a wrong habit, what if you like add a good habit in, add in a habit that's good for you? So, do you like going outside in nature? Whatever it is that's powerful? Because what I hear in that statement, I need to stop my wrong habits, is some self criticism, some self judgment. And that's just the ego keeping you in your head. But if you do the chakra meditation or anything, or walk in nature, or just sit and breathe and become deeply present with what you feel. The book I wrote, The Diamond Process, guides you through a whole journey that can support you in getting present in your body and using the triggers to actually awaken into the diamond self, into who you really are beyond thought. Then you'll start to notice that, wow, you just kind of desire something healthier for you rather than beating yourself up. You're present with yourself, and if you need support, get the support. Find the community or the coach or the support group that will help you, because you are a beautiful soul, okay? And every single one of us is, and your life is coated with such immense beauty and abundance and pure joy. And all it takes is pulling your energy back from all the places you've been giving it, if wherever that is, and really listen deeply and ask your heart, what do I want this year? What do I want this year? I'm going to share one last thing. This is the longest live stream in the whole world, but this changed my life for a month last year. And this is going to freaking change at least one of your lives, which is why it's coming up. Last year on my birthday, I was in the shower and had a download. And I was like, what would make this year my best year of my entire life? And it was like, what came through was something called the faux filter, which means every decision I make, every time I say yes or no to something, I'm going to run it through something called the faux filter. Am I doing this out of fear, obligation, or expectation? Faux, F-O-E. Am I doing this? Am I saying yes to this? Or am I saying this out of fear, obligation, or expectation? If it's yes to any three of those, for an entire month, I just said no. Nope, not doing it. Nope, doesn't matter if it's pissing people off. Nope. Obviously, if you have children and there are obligations and expectations there, that's a different story. I'm not talking about like abandoning ship on parenthood at all. Like that's another story. But what I'm saying is too many times we are doing things because we want to love others, but we leave ourselves in the process. So everything you can run through the faux filter, or some of my clients run it through the fog filter: fear, obligation, guilt. Are you doing things out of any of those things? And try for 1 week. The next week, what happens when you say no to anything that is of those energies? And take your life back. Give yourself your life back from all those expectations. I bought a t-shirt at the start of this year that says, do more of what makes you happy. So I leave you with that. I think a lot of the balance and walking the middle way is like, just listen to your body, do what makes you feel good in your body, what feels good to you. And I just wish you the most beautiful year ever. And if you got something from this video, from this live stream, it's been awesome being here with you. You can give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, you can hit the subscribe button. I think it's right there. And Patty says, being in nature can be so powerful. If it's like the only thing you take from this live stream, please, please root yourself in nature and just let Mama Nature, let Earth Mother like restore you. You know, a friend of mine, she just sits and she studies the forest, and that's what I've been doing, or studies the ocean, or studies the sky. And that's definitely the lesson this year. Reconnect with our source of life and see where that takes us. You are so, so welcome. I love you. No way. That is the best. A new puppy, and your new puppy is restoring you daily. That's so beautiful. Oh my goodness, friends. I love you all so much. Let us make this year the best year where we set our magic free. I believe in you. I know that what is within you is not only essential to set free from within you, it's magic. It's beautiful. And if you need help with any of that, come join us in the membership. It's incredible. Yay. Oh, it's a she. So cute. So good. Oh, all right, you guys. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video. Okay. Mwah!